Right, okay, next lot then. Let's get this assembled. Let's get this desk lamp looking like an actual desk lamp. Okay, I've clicked on my assembly tab so I can have a look at my what I've created so far. I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert the light shade, bring that over and click, and I'm going to bring over my LED strip lights. Green tick that. So we got to use our mating tools. You know, mating are when two things come together and do their thing. So we're going to get ours sorted out. Here we go. Fasten mate, good old fasten mate. So I've clicked on my fasten mate. I want to get round the back of this green lampshade, this green acrylic lampshade that I've got. So I'm going to hold down the right mouse button, reorientate my view, zoom in if I need to. Now I need that blue line. It gives me a red line, a green line, a blue line. I want that blue line to be pointing away from the material. So I've clicked there, zoom out, and that is going to fit underneath here. I'm going to stick that on there. Remember, the blue line needs to be pointing away from the material. So I hope you can see that that blue line is pointing away from the material. And it goes. Now, there's that bit done. I want to show you something really quickly. Let me just change my view so you can see it a bit better. Right. So, when we're fixing things together in our fasten mate, we have this option to click offset. And what we can do, if you think about my axes, I've got my y-axis going up and down, like I do on a graph. I've got my x-axis going along the bottom, left to right. Because we're working in 3D, I've got my z-axis, which is going back into the distance and coming forward to the foreground. If I wanted to move this, I can do so. So let's say I wanted to move this lampshade so that it was more closer down to here towards this screw. If I click on my y-axis and I typed in 40, for example, you can see it's moving down. If I wanted to make it go a bit further, I could type in 80, tow it down. I can move that. I just want to show you that. We don't need to do that for ours, so I'm going to go back and set that to 0. It's back where I originally fastened it. So I'm going to green tick that. So there's my lampshade part. And what we want to do is put our strip light in here. So again, we're going to use our fasten mate. And I want the back of that LED strip light. When you actually use the LEDs for real, what you do is you just peel a bit of plastic backing off the back and they stick on. So blue line needs to be pointing away from the material, so click on that one. Didn't work. Click on that one there, and that one is going to go right bang in the middle here. Now let's have a look. I think I might need to flip that. Let's just have a look. So let's click solve, green tick. Yeah, it hasn't quite worked there. I think it's gone. Yeah, don't know why it's flipped it around the wrong way. There's a quick fix for that. Go back into the fasten that you've done, so double click, and I just want you to flip the axes like that. Green tick. There you go. There's my LED strip lights. Let's have a look at my design. There we go. That's looking a bit more like a desk lamp now as to what it will look like in real life. Your lamp design, shade design, will be unique. It's going to be your design. The rest of it will be pretty self-explanatory, or pretty similar to what you've got on your screen there. Let's talk about exploded views. Let's talk about third angle orthographic drawings. So we know with CAD, one of the reasons we use CAD is because it's not easy to use. It takes time to learn, but it means we can edit our designs really quickly. We can edit them quickly. We can share our designs really quickly too. So what we can do with CAD is we can produce some drawings. I want to produce an exploded view that I would then give to people. I could give it to a customer. When you buy things in shops, often in the instructions, if you ever look at the instructions before you put it together, it often includes an exploded or an assembly view to show you how you put it together. So if you didn't see what I did then, I have to be in my assembly tab. Over to right here, it's one of the middle options. Click exploded view. I want to add an exploded view, and I'm going to start to click on the parts. So I'm going to click on this arm, move it away, green tick. Click on the other arm, move it away, green tick. My bolt, let's do that again, I don't like that. Green tick. I want this nut. Bolt's going to go there. Green tick. I've got the nut out there. That bolt's probably too far out. Don't want it to look crazy. Green tick. Let's have this bolt out here. Green tick. Oh, don't know where that's gone. Let's undo that. Oh, I chose the wrong arrow. That's better. Green tick. My strip light, I want to come this way. Green tick, and I want the lampshade also to come off this way. Green tick. Let's move this one up. There we go. Green tick. And let's move. No, actually, I'm going to undo that. I don't want to move that one. Instead, let's move the base down. There we go. That's more sensible. There we go. I'll click done, and there's my exploded view. I'm happy with that. That shows you or someone looking at it, they got a bit of an idea. Looking at it, they go, oh, okay, I can see how that goes together. I can see where I need to put the different parts and how they would come together to make the finished product. So I'm quite happy with that. I would take a screenshot of that, and that would go into my portfolio to show off my my CAD skills. There's my exploded drawing produced in minutes by the computer. Let's have a look at our third angle orthographic drawing then. So slightly different for this one. We need to go down to our insert new tab. We're not going to create a part studio. Instead, we're going to create drawing. And we're going to click OK. Make sure we're working in millimeters. The key is just making sure you're working in millimeters and not inches. So click OK. We've done this before. Lucky for us, we don't have to draw these by hand. We can get the computer to do it for us. Now, when you produce in your third angle orthographic drawings, I want you to think about what they're used for. Third angle orthographic drawings are used by professionals. They're used in places like factories that need to make the product. So they won't see your sketches. All they are going to get is your third angle orthographic drawing, and they could be a factory that's on the other side of the world. You may not be on the end of a phone or an email or a video call to be able to explain the design in detail. So you have to make sure it's as clear as possible so that they can work from your orthographic drawing, build and make the product the way you have designed it. I want you to think that, have that in your mind. So what we need to do is we are going to go and insert our assemblies. We're going to go to assembly 1. Okay, and we're going to start with our front view. Now, I want you to put your front view around here. Left click my mouse. Now you'll notice the computer, it wants to line it, it'll try and line it up for you, which is good, which is what we want. There's my side view. Click. I'm going to click back on my front view, take my mouse up, and there's my top view. So there's my front view, my side view, and my top view. What I want you to do is have a go at doing that. When you've done that, I want you to come and put some information into your box down here. We call this the title block, and I will go through this in a little bit of detail. So it puts your name in there, it puts the date. Don't worry about checked. That again would probably be done by your colleague. So I've checked this to make sure it's okay. Your boss, your line manager, or the chief exec of your engineering company might approve it. What you're going to do is put in what material it's made from. Now, the lamp is going to be made from multiple, might be made from a few different types of material. So don't worry about what you're going to put in there for the minute. Are we going to apply a finish? We might do, we might stain it, we might add a varnish to it. So that's something to consider. The computer works out the scale for you, so it does a bit of the maths for you, which is quite good. Doesn't means takes away a little bit of the hassle for you. Title, I want you to put a title in there, so it's going to be LED strip light desk lamp. Remember your capital letters. Green tick that. And this is sheet 1 of 1, and we'll talk about the drawing number in a minute. So let's have a look at this design. There we go. There's my third angle orthographic drawing. It's missing dimensions, and the reason for that is actually, I think if we sent this off to a factory, it'd be very difficult for them to see the dimensions and to figure out what's going on. So we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to create another orthographic drawing. Make sure you're working in millimeters, click OK. It lags a little bit. This time, what we're going to do, instead of clicking assemblies, we're actually going to go through some of our parts that we made, because the factory will make the parts for us to then be assembled. You think this is a desk lamp that's going to be batch produced, then they'll be producing all the components and it will then be assembled. So for example, let's start with a very simple one. Let's do the base. Click on my base. I'm going up here, I'm going to change the orientation to front. Okay, I'm going to take it off to the right side. Should be pretty similar. That's what it looks like from the right side. Click on the front view, take my mouse up, and that's a bit too big. Click. So I'm going to have to move these down a little bit. Oh, I've now got lots of them. Let's move it down. That's better. Now, this is where we can start to add our dimensions. So again, I want you to think that a factory gets your orthographic drawing and they need to know the dimensions that they're going to use to make these bases. They might start to make hundreds of them or thousands of them. So dimension, I'm going to give them a dimension of the side, so that's 140 millimeters. I'm going to give them the diameter of the holes. Watch how we do this. I'm just going to click on that circle there, we take it off and we click, and there's our good friends the diameter symbol. We've come across that one before. So they now know in the factory they need to draw these holes to 3 millimeters in diameter. I'm going to give them the width of the base, 90 millimeters. actually I'm going to change that. So I think that might confuse them. Let's click on my dimension. I'm going to give them from there to there. It's 100 millimeters. What I am going to tell them is I'm going to tell them the bend radius. Again, something that we need to get into the habit of doing is R stands for radius. So in the factory they know that that's a 5mm bend radius on those corners. The fillet has been filleted to 5 millimeters. What you'll notice about my dimensions, they're off the sketch. I'm trying to keep them the same distance away from the sketch. My extension lines that come away from my sketch, they don't touch the drawing. I've got thin, full arrowheads. I've got my dimension bang in the middle where I can, where possible. I've got it bang in the middle to make it nice and neat and tidy. Let's go to my title block down here. The material for this, I'm going to make the base from pine wood. Finish, I want a varnish. This is the base plate. Green tick. Drawing number, I'm going to put 1 of 5 because we're going to produce 5 drawings. Possibly maybe more, I can't remember. I think that's everything we need. How do I know this is a third angle orthographic drawing? How does the factory know when they get this by email that it's a third angle orthographic drawing? They can look down here and they can see that third angle orthographic symbol. 2 circles, center line with my it's almost like a what sort of shape is that? I can't remember. It's called a P. Can't remember what it's called. Anyway, not hugely important that you know the name of the shape, but just you know how to draw it and what it looks like. Final thing that we can do on this one is, there's my center lines, draws them for me, is if we need to we can add hidden details. We haven't got any hidden details for our base. Actually we do. Right, I want you to do this. Right click on this one here, my front view, show hide, show hidden lines. There we go. Same on this one here, right click, show high, show hidden lines. So we think about my base plate. If I'm looking straight at it, I've got this hole here, it's a through hole, and we've got this countersunk bottom side of the hole for the screws to fit in. We know that's a hidden detail because it's a dashed line. So start using these orthographic drawings to really understand the different lines that we get on these drawings. Dashed lines mean hidden details. Thick, dark, outlined lines go around the outline of your shape. Center lines, zoom in on my center lines. Dash, dot, dash. Zero, or it looks like a zero with the line going through it, that's your dimension line, or that means the diameter, sorry, not dimension line, that's your diameter. R with the number means the radius, so the bend radius, that curve is 5 millimeters. Let's have a look at my title block. I've got third angle orthographic drawing symbol, I've got material, I've told it what finish I want. The computer has told me the scale is 1:1, so it's the exact same size. This is drawing number 1 of 5. The title is the base plate. There's no tolerances. I haven't added a plus or minus tolerance on this, so it needs to be made exactly to those dimensions. I'm going to pause the video there because I've gone on for a little while, and then we'll go through making the other orthographic drawings. Or actually, I'm going to let you carry on with making the orthographic drawings of all the various parts of our lampshade design. make sure you're laying the orthographic drawings out in this, just like this: front view, side view, top view. They're all lined up. Dimensions are off the shapes to the sides, not too far away from the sketch, and make sure we've got our hidden details. Off you go.